What if I told you that the food you ate for breakfast this morning could be quietly destroying your heart right now? Not the junk food, not the fast food you already know to avoid. I am talking about the foods sitting in your kitchen that you believe are healthy. Foods your doctor never warned you about. Foods that millions of Americans over 60 eat every single day with complete confidence, completely unaware of the damage being done. Every single minute in America, someone over the age of 60 has a heart attack. And here is the most terrifying part. Most of them never saw it coming. They were eating what they thought was right. They were doing what their doctor told them. They were following the rules. But there are three specific foods, three foods hiding in plain sight that are silently inflaming your arteries, thickening your blood, and strangling your heart from the inside out. And today, I am going to name every single one of them. Stay until the end, because what I am about to reveal could literally save your life or the life of someone you love. Welcome to Health Life Save. This is the channel dedicated to giving you the real, honest, life-saving health knowledge that most people never receive. We believe that knowledge is the most powerful medicine on earth, and every single video we create here exists for one reason and one reason only: to save your life. If you believe your health deserves real, honest information, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the bell notification, because every video we post could be the one that changes everything for you. Let me ask you something deeply important. When was the last time your heart gave you a warning? Maybe it was a strange flutter, a tightness in your chest after climbing stairs, a shortness of breath that came out of nowhere, a feeling that something was not quite right. You probably brushed it off, blamed it on age, blamed it on stress. Maybe your doctor ran a few tests, told you your numbers were acceptable, and sent you home. But here's what your doctor did not tell you. Heart disease does not start the day you have a heart attack. It starts silently, invisibly, years before you feel a single symptom. Think of your arteries like garden hoses. When you're young, those hoses are flexible, wide, clear. Blood flows through them easily and freely. But every single day, certain foods trigger a process called arterial inflammation. And inflammation is like rust forming inside those hoses. Slowly, gradually, the walls get thicker, the passage gets narrower, the flow gets weaker, and all of this is happening while you feel completely fine. By the time you notice symptoms, by the time you feel that chest pain or that crushing fatigue, the damage has already been building for years, sometimes decades. Your doctor will tell you to take a statin medication. Your doctor will tell you to lower your fat intake. Your doctor will tell you to exercise more. But what your doctor will almost never tell you is that three specific foods you are eating right now are pouring fuel onto the fire of heart disease every single day. These foods create what scientists call oxidative stress. They trigger systemic inflammation. They cause your blood to become thicker and stickier, making dangerous clots far more likely. And the most devastating part of all, most of these foods are marketed as healthy. Some of them carry official health endorsements, but the science tells a very different story. And today, I'm going to share that science with you in plain, simple language, so you can make the most important health decision of your life. Now let me explain exactly what is happening inside your cardiovascular system. And I promise I am going to make this simple, because you deserve to understand what is happening inside your own body. Your heart beats approximately 100,000 times every single day. It pumps blood through 60,000 miles of blood vessels. It never stops. It never rests. It is the most hard-working organ in your entire body, and it depends completely on your arteries to function properly.
Here is how heart disease actually develops, step by step. Step 1. Inflammation attacks your artery walls. When you eat foods that trigger inflammation, your immune system responds by sending white blood cells to the artery walls. This is meant to protect you, but when it happens repeatedly, day after day, year after year, those immune cells get stuck in the artery walls and begin to form what scientists call plaque. A study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that chronic, low-grade inflammation is the single most important driver of cardiovascular disease in adults over 50. In simple terms, inflammation is the match that lights the fire of heart disease. Step 2. Oxidative stress damages your arterial lining. Your arteries are lined with a delicate single-cell layer called the endothelium. Think of it as the non-stick coating inside a frying pan. When this coating is smooth and healthy, blood flows freely and clots cannot form. But certain foods produce what scientists call free radicals, unstable molecules that scratch and damage this delicate lining, like steel wool destroying a non-stick pan. Research from Johns Hopkins University found that oxidative damage to the endothelium is present in virtually every case of heart disease studied, and that diet is the primary driver of this damage. Step 3. Blood thickening increases clot risk. Certain foods cause your blood platelets to become hyperactive, clumping together abnormally, making your blood thick and sticky. The American Heart Association Journal published research showing that dietary-induced blood thickening increases the risk of fatal heart attack by up to 340% in adults over 65. In simple terms, the wrong foods can literally turn your blood from a river to a slow-moving sludge. Are you still with me? Good, because now I am going to tell you exactly which 3 foods are causing all of this damage, starting right now. Now, this is what you came here for. These are not obscure ingredients you have never heard of. These are not rare, exotic foods. These are 3 everyday foods that most Americans over 60 eat regularly, confidently, and without any suspicion whatsoever. Let us name them one by one. Food number 1. Refined vegetable oils, the heart's silent assassin. This is the one that shocks people most, and I understand why. Because for decades, we were told that vegetable oils were heart-healthy. We were told that butter and animal fats were the enemy. We were told to switch to canola oil, corn oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, and millions of Americans did exactly that. But here is what the food industry did not want you to know. Refined vegetable oils are extraordinarily high in omega-6 fatty acids, and while your body needs some omega-6, the modern American diet contains 20 to 30 times more omega-6 than omega-3. This imbalance, this catastrophic ratio, is one of the most powerful drivers of cardiovascular inflammation ever identified by science. A landmark study published in the British Medical Journal followed over 450 adults with established heart disease. One group replaced saturated fat with corn oil. The other group did not change. The results were devastating and shocking. The group that switched to corn oil had a 70% higher rate of death from heart disease. 70% higher, despite following what was considered to be the healthier diet. But it gets worse. When vegetable oils are heated to cooking temperatures, they undergo a process called oxidation. They produce toxic compounds called aldehydes, which are so dangerous they are classified as known carcinogens.
A study from the University of the Philippines found that a single serving of food cooked in reheated vegetable oil contained levels of toxic aldehydes that exceeded safe daily limits by more than 100 times. In simple terms, every time you fry something in canola oil or cook with corn oil, you are flooding your cardiovascular system with inflammatory, toxic compounds. Let me tell you about James. He was 67 years old, a retired school teacher from Ohio. He came to see me after his third visit to the cardiologist in 2 years. His inflammation markers were dangerously elevated. His blood pressure was 158/94, despite medication. He was eating what he believed was a heart-healthy diet. He used canola oil for everything. He had margarine instead of butter. He avoided red meat. When I told him about vegetable oil, he looked at me like I had lost my mind. But he trusted me. He switched to extra virgin olive oil and grass-fed butter immediately. Within 8 weeks, his inflammation markers had dropped by 41%. His blood pressure came down to 134/82. His cardiologist called the improvement remarkable. James called me and said 4 words I will never forget. He said, "I wish I knew." What to do instead? Replace all refined vegetable oils with extra virgin olive oil for cold use and dressings. Use grass-fed butter or coconut oil for cooking at higher temperatures. Read every single food label because canola oil and soybean oil are hidden in crackers, bread, sauces, mayonnaise, salad dressings, and hundreds of processed foods you would never suspect. I need you to pay very close attention to this next food because this one surprises people the most. Food number 2, refined sugar and high fructose corn syrup. The heart attack in a glass. Most people know that sugar is bad for diabetes. What most people do not know is that sugar may be the #1 dietary driver of heart disease in America today. Let me explain exactly why. When you consume refined sugar or high fructose corn syrup, your liver is overwhelmed. It cannot process the fructose fast enough, so it converts the excess fructose directly into a type of fat called triglycerides. High triglycerides are one of the most dangerous risk factors for heart disease, independently associated with heart attacks and strokes. A study published in JAMA Internal Medicine tracked the diets and health outcomes of over 30,000 Americans for 15 years. The results were staggering. People who consumed 25% or more of their daily calories from added sugar were more than twice as likely to die from heart disease compared to those who consumed less than 10%. More than twice as likely to die. But here is the part that will genuinely shock you. A 12-ounce can of regular soda contains approximately 39 grams of sugar. That is nearly 10 teaspoons of pure sugar in one single drink. And orange juice, the drink millions of Americans over 60 consume every morning, believing it is healthy, contains almost as much sugar as soda, with very little fiber to slow the absorption. Your morning glass of orange juice, your daily yogurt, your breakfast granola bar may be delivering a devastating sugar spike to your cardiovascular system before 9 in the morning. Research from Harvard Medical School showed that sugar activates the same inflammatory pathways in the heart as smoking. Let me say that again clearly. Consuming high amounts of refined sugar creates the same type of cardiovascular inflammation as smoking. I had a patient named Barbara. She was 72 years old. She had never smoked a single cigarette in her life. She exercised 3 times a week. She avoided fast food completely, but she drank 2 glasses of orange juice every single morning. She had sweetened yogurt for lunch. She added honey to everything because she believed it was natural and healthy. Her cardiovascular inflammation markers were among the highest I had ever seen in a non-smoker. When we removed all refined sugar and fruit juice from her diet and replaced them with whole fruits, water, and unsweetened alternatives, her inflammation markers dropped by 55% in just 12 weeks. Her cardiologist reduced her medication dosage for the first time in 6 years. What to do instead? Eliminate all beverages with added sugar, including juice, soda, sweetened coffee drinks, and sports drinks. Replace with water, herbal tea, or sparkling water with fresh lemon. When you want sweetness, eat whole fruit, where the fiber slows sugar absorption dramatically. Learn to read nutrition labels and look for hidden sugars listed as corn syrup, dextrose, maltose, sucrose, and fructose. Before I tell you the third food, if you have not subscribed yet, please do it right now. This channel exists for one reason and one reason only: to save lives.
And the third food I am about to name is the one hiding in the most unexpected place. Do not go anywhere. Food number 3, ultra-processed bread and refined grains, the silent inflammation bomb. This is the one that people resist the most because bread feels safe. Bread feels basic. Bread feels like something grandmothers make and children eat without worry. But the bread on American supermarket shelves today is not the bread your grandmother made. Modern commercial bread is made from refined white flour that has been stripped of virtually all its fiber, vitamins, and minerals. What remains is essentially pure starch, and pure starch behaves almost identically to pure sugar inside your body. When you eat refined white bread, white rice, pasta, or crackers, your blood sugar spikes rapidly and dramatically. Your body releases a massive surge of insulin, and that insulin surge triggers a cascade of inflammation throughout your entire cardiovascular system. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who consumed the highest amounts of refined grains had a 30% higher risk of cardiovascular disease compared to those who consumed the least. But here's what makes this even more dangerous for adults over 60 specifically. As we age, our insulin sensitivity decreases. This means the same amount of refined starch creates a far more dramatic blood sugar spike in a 65-year-old than it would be in a 35-year-old. Your aging metabolism makes refined grains exponentially more damaging to your heart than they were when you were younger. And the food industry knows this. They add back synthetic vitamins and minerals to refined flour and label it enriched. They add a small amount of whole grain and label it multigrain. They color it slightly brown and call it wheat bread. But none of these marketing tactics change the fundamental reality. Enriched white flour, stripped of its natural fiber, whatever color it appears, acts like liquid sugar in your bloodstream. A study from the Cleveland Clinic found that adults who replaced refined grains with intact whole grains reduced their cardiovascular risk by 22% within just 6 months. I had a patient named Harold. He was 70 years old. He had a heart stent placed 2 years before coming to see me. His cardiologist had him on 4 medications. Harold ate what he considered a moderate and healthy diet: 2 slices of whole wheat toast for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch, pasta twice a week for dinner. He had no idea
that his blood sugar was spiking dangerously after every single meal. We replaced his refined grain products with oats, quinoa, lentils, and sweet potatoes. We kept his total carbohydrate intake similar, but shifted entirely to slow-digesting whole food sources. Within 10 weeks, his fasting blood sugar had normalized, his inflammation markers dropped significantly, and for the first time since his stent procedure, his cardiologist described his heart health as trending in the right direction. Harold told me something I think about often. He said, "Nobody ever told me bread could hurt my heart. They just told me to take the pills." What to do instead? Replace commercial white bread and refined pasta with intact whole grains like oats, barley, and quinoa. Choose legumes like lentils and black beans as your primary carbohydrate source.
When you do eat bread, choose bread where you can see the whole seeds and grains, not bread that is simply brown colored. If the bread squishes instantly when you press it, it is refined and it will spike your blood sugar. I know that was a tremendous amount of life-changing information, and I want to make absolutely sure you use it, because information without action changes nothing. So here is your simple, step-by-step, 4-week heart protection protocol. Do not try to change everything at once. That is overwhelming, and it leads to giving up completely. Start small. Stay consistent. Your heart will respond. Week 1. Eliminate the oils. This week, your only job is to remove every refined vegetable oil from your kitchen. Canola oil, corn oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, and all margarines. Replace them with 1 bottle of quality extra virgin olive oil for cold dishes and low-heat cooking. Buy 1 block of grass-fed butter for high-heat cooking. Read the labels on your sauces, salad dressings, and packaged foods. If canola oil or soybean oil appears in the ingredients, replace that product this week. That is it for week 1. 1 change, 1 focus. Week 2. Eliminate sugar in juice.
This week, remove all beverages with added sugar from your home. This includes orange juice, apple juice, sweetened coffee, sports drinks, and sodas. Replace them with filtered water, sparkling water with lemon, and unsweetened herbal tea. Read every nutrition label and find where hidden sugar is hiding in your pantry. Granola, yogurt, sauces, soups, and dressings are where most people find the biggest surprises. You are also still using your new oils from week 1. You are building momentum now. Week 3. Replace refined grains. This week, begin replacing your commercial bread and pasta with whole food alternatives. Buy a bag of rolled oats for breakfast. Try lentil soup for lunch. Replace white rice with quinoa or brown rice at dinner. You do not need to give up carbohydrates. You simply need to choose carbohydrates that come with their natural fiber intact so they do not spike your blood sugar dangerously. Week 4. Full protocol running. By week 4, all 3 foods are eliminated from your daily life. You are eating clean oils, no added sugar, and whole food carbohydrates. This is your new heart-protecting lifestyle. And here's what I want you to notice during these 4 weeks. Your energy, your digestion, your sleep quality, your blood pressure if you monitor it at home. Most people report noticeable improvements within 2 to 3 weeks. Your heart has been waiting for this. I want you to take a slow, deep breath right now, and I want you to imagine something with me. Imagine waking up 90 days from now. You get out of bed, and you notice something different. You feel lighter. Your head is clearer. You walk to the kitchen without that familiar heaviness in your chest. You sit down for breakfast, and for the first time in years, you feel genuinely good. Not just okay, not just managing, actually good. Your grandchildren come to visit on the weekend, and instead of sitting on the couch and watching them play, you are out there with them, walking with them, laughing with them, being present with them in a way you did not think was possible anymore. Your next doctor appointment comes. The nurse takes your blood pressure And pauses. Then takes it again. Then looks at you with genuine surprise. And your doctor says 4 words you have been waiting years to hear. Your numbers look great. That is not a fantasy. That is what happens when you remove the 3 foods that have been silently working against your heart for years and replace them with choices that protect and heal. It is not too late. I want you to hear that clearly, deeply, personally. It is not too late for your heart to heal.
The cardiovascular system has a remarkable capacity for recovery when you stop the damage and give it the right conditions to repair. The science proves this. My patients prove this. And in 90 days, your own body will prove this to you. Come back and tell me how you feel in the comments. I read every single one, and I celebrate every single victory with this community. If this video helped you in any way, please like it right now. It takes 1 second, and it helps us reach someone who is eating those 3 foods right now and has no idea what they are doing to their heart. Share this video with someone you love, a spouse, a parent, a dear friend, a neighbor who lives alone. You could be saving their life today without even realizing it. And subscribe if you have not already done so, and turn on the bell so you never miss a video. Because every single week, we are here with the honest, life-saving health information that most people never receive. Your heart is still fighting for you every single second of every single day. The least you can do is fight back. Your best health years are not behind you. They are still ahead. I will see you in the next video. Stay strong, stay heart healthy, and always remember, your life is worth saving.